Welcome. This is the video for the Give Thanks frame project, Shadowbox frame. And this particular design, which is the one that we've given you the parts to do and is intended, actually does not use anything from the stamp set, but was along the theme of the leaves and the plaid paper. This is a fun little project, but I did do an alternate of this that the parts are in your kit for this, that you could use the tree stamp and do similar to the Love Life is Beautiful card. You could do the tree with the birdhouse and the thinking of you, or life is beautiful. So you decorate your frame as you like. And I wanted to show you that this frame project is fully repeatable with any size paper. You get a long oblong frame when you're using a letter size piece of our cardstock. If you use a 12 by 12 piece of our cardstock and repeat it with exactly the same measurements and everything for the scoring, you'll end up with a frame that is, I think it's 8 inches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, you end up with a frame that's 8 by 8. And a 6 by 6 paper will fit in the middle with a half-inch margin around the outside edge of it. And you could also, instead of doing half-inch scores, you could do 3/4-inch scores, and it would make the frame a little thicker and the edges of it a little thicker. So there's lots of ways that you can modify this using any of the plaid papers that you have in your kit. We've given you extra die-cut tags that you can stamp on, and lots of leaves, and you've got several sets of cutout letters, so you can modify this as you like. This project requires the large piece of early espresso paper that has already been scored for you, and the tear and tape adhesive has been applied. You're going to need one piece of whatever of the plaid tidings paper you want to use for your color scheme. So you pick one from the 3 that are in your kit. You're going to need a couple of foil leaves. Again, your choice. We've given you a whole bag of them. You're going to need one of those tags, and these tags are cut from the Celebration dies, which are found on page 58 in the new mini catalog, and they're layered. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and they go from enough to fill the front of a card. The one I used here in this 8 by 8 frame actually isn't even the largest. There's one larger than that. This is the middle one, so it's number 3 either way, up from the small or in. Okay. And you're going to find in your bag a whole bunch of, there's the die cut letters, and they have the adhesive applied to the back of them. And there's going to be a whole pile of little colored leaves that are punched from colored cardstock. So that's what you're going to need for this project. To start, we'll give you a little bit of explanation. You'll see there's a scoring diagram on the project page. And basically, without thinking it looks too hard, you pick your dimension. In this case, I picked 1/2 inch, and you're going to score on all 4 sides the same thing 4 times. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch 1, 1 1/2, 2. Rotate it around. 1/2 inch 1, 1 1/2, 2. Do it again. Do it again. Then you pick 2 sides. Now I did the long sides on this one, and you do 1 additional score line in another 1/2 inch, but only down to crossing your second score line. So you're going to cross your first 1/2 inch score line to your 1 inch score line. I'll bring that up here to the camera and show you closer. So it's a short little line that only comes to the second line. You do that over here. You flip it around, and you do it here and here. And the reason for that will be when we fold in our sides, we lose a 1/2 inch off of folding this one in. And if you don't cut that extra 1/2 inch piece out, it won't fold up. It'll bang into the ends of these. So 2 of your sides have to have that. When I did it on this one, it was exactly the same. I did my 4 score lines. Because it was a square piece of paper, it didn't matter. I just had to do it on 2 opposite sides, those 2 little extra short lines. Now, you're going to need your paper snips. And this is a lot simpler than it seems. There are 16 little squares in the corner that are created by our score lines. I'm going to cut all 16 of those off. So you're basically cutting away a square from each corner. Okay, so let's do that first. That's fairly straightforward. Okay. Our 4 squares are gone from the corner. Now we're going to look at those 2 little short lines that we did. Okay, we're going to cut those 2 little short lines, just like that. Okay. Then we're going to go on an angle from that one, get it in the camera here, across to the next one down. Okay, so from this one where our line ended to the next score line, I'm going to cut it on an angle right over to that corner. And I'm going to do that on this one, but in the opposite direction, always going outward, away from my line, out to my corner. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So down to my line, and you can do it at the same time if you want while you get your scissors in there, and then out to the opposite corner. Down to my line, and then out to that opposite corner. Okay. Those are the areas marked in red on the scoring and cutting diagram. Now, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to fold all of our folds up and burnish them with a bone folder. Okay, I'm actually going to turn this way a little bit, because I can do it faster if it's facing me. Okay. You just do that with all 4 sides, all 4 score lines. So you're going to do this 16 times. You can already start to see the frame taking shape. Okay. And if you sort of square things up, you can test that you have cut everything correctly if you can take the longer edge ones and roll them in. Okay. And then, you see what I mean? If we hadn't have cut that extra little strip off the end, we would have had a long piece here that would have been banging into the end of this. So by removing that extra little piece there, we've now made it so that it nests inside of these 2 outside ones. Okay, just like that. Now, the assembly of this is pretty straightforward, but you do have to be careful. So I'm going to fold this flat like this so that I can pick my tear and tape off. Just use a pick tool. And then keeping, how do I explain this? Keeping this corner in line in there. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to suggest you do this. Fold this first tab back. Okay, and fold your second score line in to stick it down. I know, that was not intuitive. But that way, when I stick it down, it's straight. So I'll do that again, really slow, so you can catch on. So I'm taking the first tab, the one that has the glue on it, and I'm folding it flat. Okay. Then I'm taking not the centermost one in. I don't want to glue it so that I've got 3 out here. I only want 2. So I want to have 2 score lines out here. And then I'm going to stick it down. Okay, so you can see I've got 2 of the 1/2 inch or an inch. And that will let that one stick down. Okay, good. It's adhered in the right spot, and this one is adhered in the right spot. Now bring them up, give them a little bit of a press towards the middle so that they stand upright. And then I'm going to do the same thing again here, but I'm not going to be able to fold them over flat this time because my sides are going to be in the way. So you just have to do it carefully, tuck it in, keep it tucked in, fold it over, bring it up, and then just kind of, you can't really press it down because you can't get inside the spot in the middle, but you just wiggle it in there. You can fold back. Yes, you can. There, you can fold backwards to push that down so that it sticks well. Just be careful when you pop that back up that you need to have your outside edges out of the way so you can bring it back up and not crush them. There we go. All right, do the same thing over here. There. Get that to pop back up. Okay. There we are. Now, the trickiest part of this whole entire project is gluing your 4 corners so that it will stay together, because of course you don't want your frame to fall apart. So what I suggest for that coming back, sorry, just had to go grab them. Grab a couple of elastic bands. And what you're going to do is you're going to adhere some glue across the corner like this. And you're going to push it in like that. Right. And then I'm going to do the opposite one over here. Like that. And then I'm just going to put a rubber band around it to help hold it. And then I'm going to go to my opposite end and do the same. 2 inside corners, like that. And I'm just lifting it away as I'm poking it in so that I don't drag the glue all over everywhere. And then I'm going to put a rubber band around there. And then I'm going to put a rubber band around the whole end just to hold my ends in. Okay. Just keep pressing a little bit until it has time to dry. Okay. And we'll set that aside for a few minutes, and we're going to go to our piece we're going to put in the middle. And in your packet, oh yes, we have to do a little bit of decorating here. In the background of our sample, there's a bit of speckle. And there are several different ways that you can do this. If you have blends, you can use your blender pen. We used Mango Melody and Pumpkin Pie. So let me haul out a Mango Melody one here for just a second. And I'll show you. You take the, not the nub end, the other end. Can't think of what you call it, the brush end. And I'm going to bang it against another marker. Or I could use my bone folder, or I could just use my hand if I wanted to, but you need something to bang it against. You go like this. And you will get some splats. Okay, that's one way to do it. I'm going to show you. You get some splatter pattern. Okay. You can also, I will use my little block here. And I will use my pumpkin pie ink pad. I'm going to pick up a little bit of ink on my block. And then you use a aqua painter. And you put some water on there like that. Get it all nice and wet. And just tap like that. There we go. Oh, I should clean this off. So the next time I go to use it, it's not orange. There we go. Okay, so you can do that. Or if you want, you can do a little sponging on it. It doesn't have to have it. The effect is just that it gives a little bit of splatter pattern to it. And then I'm just going to tissue that off to get rid of any wet, because I'm going to go to sticking down my adhesive letters and things now. So, in your bag of goodies, you should have a thanks, and you should have a give. I think you've got a couple of them in your kits. Okay. And the grid paper is excellent again for this if you're trying to line things up so that they look straight. And you'll need a pick tool or scissors or something to pick the adhesive off the back. And you basically just stick it down. Okay, this is using the die cut letters from Well Said, I think is where this thanks comes from. And we're using the adhesive sheets. So you basically take your cardstock and you peel off, it's like a giant sticker, and you stick it on the back of your cardstock. You run it through your die cutting machine, and when it comes out, it's got the adhesive on the back. Okay, and then I'm going to do the give. There we go. you can find the end, the release paper will come off pretty easy. There we go. Had it, lost it. There we go. There. A pair of tweezers might help a little bit when you're sticking these on. I think the key to it is don't press down until you're committed to that's where it's going to be. And then press down. Okay. Coming into the home stretch here. I said that too soon. Okay, give up on that corner. Let's try this corner. There we are. Over some. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to arrange some leaves on one corner here. I want to do this. Maybe that one there and that one. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to stick. These ones don't have the adhesive on them, sorry. I'm going to have to stick them on their own. I'm going to put my stems together. One's going to kind of peek through the back of the other one. Okay. And then I want that like that. Again, I'm going to be careful because these stitched leaves, if you put glue, too much glue, or you press too hard, it's going to seep up through the holes and you're going to see it on the front. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to be careful not to press anything down too hard. Okay. And then I want some fun little leaves and an acorn over here on the side. Let me see. Maple leaf. A little green maple leaf. I want my acorn in there. That maybe. Really like these orange ones. Purple one. Yeah. Okay, and it might even stick a couple on the frame somewhere. Okay, so I am just going to put a bunch of glue here along the edge. That'll be easier. And then I'm just going to layer these up so that they cover all the glue spot. There, and have enough room down here for another one. Okay. That. Actually need a dab more glue in here. That. All right. Okay. Leaves left over. Now, we need to trim down our piece of paper to, and I just want to make sure that I get this measurement absolutely 100% correct. 3.5 inches. So it's going to be 6 by 3.5. So you have enough left over to decorate an envelope flap. You basically put glue on your envelope flap, glue that down to it, and then trim off the excess. And these make really pretty envelopes. So that can go with one of your other cards. How's my frame doing here? I think my glue is set. I'm going to take my rubber bands off. There we are. This should fit very snugly in the hole. If it's too snug, you might have to just trim a hair off, and mine is a little bit snug, and that's got to do with when you glue your sides down. So I'm just going to take a little off that side and a little off this side. Now it should just slide right in there. Yep, now I'm never going to get it out of there again. Yeah, let's see. There we go. Okay. Gonna, ooh, that's pretty too. Now I have a conundrum. Oh yeah, I like that side better. Okay. Lots of choice. Never know what you're going to run into. All right. That goes in the hole. Just push it down like that. Voila. And then all of this is going to go up on dimensionals. I'm going to use a fair number because I want it to really look 3D in there. Don't want it to sag or twist. And I'm going to put one under my leaf bundle that sticks off the side. Go. Okay. And that's going to go in there just like that. And then I think I am going to put a leaf in the corner. Just like that, just for the heck of it. There we are. So that is your Shadowbox frame project. There was my original that I did. And again, everybody's is going to be different based on how you decide to do your leaves, which paper you decide to use. So please take a picture, hit that Facebook link that's at the bottom of this project page, and that'll take you to this particular post on the Facebook group. Take a picture and post your project so we can see what you did as well. And then connect with us on the Zoom meeting, and we can show them off there too. Okay, I hope you like that project. Enjoy.